Ciao! For those of you that don't know me, my name is Nicole Salerno, and I am the Assistant Director of Study Abroad here at Fitchburg State University and a board member of the CIC. Last summer, I had the incredible opportunity to take a 3-month educational leave to pursue Italian language courses at a school in Rome. The apartment I stayed in last summer was located near the Vatican on the 6th floor of the building. In addition to breathtaking views, the bells of St. Peter's were my alarm clock every morning. The rooftop terrace of the apartment building had a washing machine. I would often come here in the mornings before class to read, write, and wash clothes. Laundry isn't so bad with this view. Downstairs from the apartment was a beautiful flower shop and a Carrefour market where I did most of my grocery shopping. It was interesting to shop for new foods and try out different coffee brands for the mocha pot. Scuola da Vinci is located near the Piazza Navona and about a 10-minute bus ride from my apartment. Around the school, there are lots of beautiful cafes, restaurants, and churches. I took Italian courses taught by local teachers and was able to advance through 4 levels of Italian. My classes were taught Monday through Friday from 9 to 1 with a break in between sessions. My classmates were folks from all around the world with the common goal of learning Italian. The school organizes a range of cultural activities, including art walks, museum tours, poetry readings, Italian language aperitivos, and day trips. Growing up, I often visited my father's cousins, featured here with their new Fitchburg State gear, who are from Rome. I loved coming to visit, but it always felt very rushed. This time, I was able to really spend time with them and learn more Italian. On the weekends, I took advantage of Italy's train system to travel up and down the country. I'll highlight a few of the places I went to, of course starting with Salerno. Salerno is a port city southeast of Naples with a lot of charm. I began by walking down the gorgeous Lungomare seafront and stopped in the famous Caffè Nettuno for a brioche con gelato. While walking around, I admired all the beautiful street art and cathedrals. I noticed a lot of the murals contained poetry verses. Most of the verses are by the poet Alfonso Gatto, who was born in Salerno. The ocean, street art, and general feel of this city reminded me a lot of Valparaiso, Chile, where I lived and taught English for 2 years. Another incredible weekend excursion I took was to Verona. After almost 7 years of advising students on our programs in Verona, I finally got the chance to go there myself while a program was running. I checked out where our students have class at the University of Verona. And I met the famous Federica, who plans and supports our students every year. She gave me a very informative tour of Verona before we met Professor Rayla Giacchite and Sarefield for dinner. Having just come from Rome, Verona was a really welcome change of pace. I was happy to meet with our students who were excited to show off their favorite spots to me that they now claimed as their own. My parents came to stay with my cousins in Rome for 2 weeks. It was really nice to spend time all together. We went through photo albums, laughed at old stories, and ate very well. My cousin Manny reminisced about his own summer spent in the United States when he was younger and how it was one of the best times of his life. Between the late dinners and zero English conversations, I slept very well after spending time with this crew. Two other Fitchburg State professors also happened to be in Rome this past summer. Professor J.J. Sylvia, who leads our Communication Study Abroad program to Greece, and Professor Jane Wong, who leads our Environmental Science program to Peru. The three of us strolled around Villa Borghese, Rome's third largest public park, while discussing the importance of educational travel for our students and having some delicious food. One of my favorite excursions with the school was traveling to Ostia Beach, about a 40-minute train ride from Rome. Not only was it nice to escape the brutal heat, but I noticed that most people around me were Italian and there weren't as many tourists. Another really interesting excursion with the school was visiting Basilica of St. Paul, a World Heritage Site and one of the 4 main basilicas of Rome. The inside of this church felt magical, and I couldn't stop looking up at the frescoes. The church was built in the 4th century and founded on the burial ground of St. Paul. Being back in a classroom reminded me how difficult learning can be, specifically learning a language, and I thought a lot about our students at Fitchburg State. In addition to regular grammar exercises for homework, the school assigned us to watch different Italian movies and listen to Italian music, which we would then discuss in class the next day. It made discussions really interesting, and I started to understand some of the cultural references my cousins were talking about. My most anticipated and planned trip during these 3 months in Italy was to Calabria. I wanted to travel to Calabria for 2 different reasons. First, my family is originally from the province of Reggio Calabria, a small mountain town called Gerace. And the second reason is my friend got tickets to a concert in Cosenza. I met my friend in the very small town of Cosenza for the concert. I immediately felt as though I was in the middle of nowhere, and the heat was almost unbearable. We started talking with some locals there and quickly realized how warm and hospitable they were. There was one small main strip of stores, restaurants, and apartments that we walked through. The concert was for an Italian indie band called Calcutta and held in this tiny old piazza that we hiked up the hill to get to. It was such an incredible experience, and we quickly realized how alive and unique this town was. I parted ways with my friend to journey down about 8 more stops on the train to Scilla. Scilla is a beautiful seaside city with lots to see and do. I took a really exciting boat tour out to the grottos and learned all about the meaning behind Scilla. There seems to be a couple of different versions of the mythology, one being that Scilla was a water monster who lived in the Strait of Messina between the coasts of Calabria and Sicily. Sailors had to try to sail through the channel without getting caught by her. Scilla appears in the Odyssey, when Odysseus' ship passes too close to her, she catches 6 of his companions and eats them. There are images of Sheila all over this city. Another famous site is Ruffo Castle, a fortress built by the Dukes of Calabria that overlooks the Strait of Messina and Sicily. During my final month of classes in Rome, I noticed a great improvement in my language skills, and that I was much more confident in navigating the area around me. I can say that after traveling to many parts of Italy and trying different cuisine, there is no place like Rome. Pasta carbonara, amatriciana, and grigia were by far my favorite things to eat there. This experience allowed me to reconnect with my family, meet inspiring people from around the world, improve my language skills, be reminded of the study abroad and educational experience, and fulfill a lifelong goal. Thank you for letting me share my experience with you all and allowing me to bring this knowledge back to Fitchburg State University.